I don't hear Manabu. There you go. There we go. I am remembering who I am. 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 I am safe and sound. I'm standing on sacred ground. I'm keeping fire in my heart. I'm willing to do my part. I am remembering who I am. 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 I am remembering who I
Just breathe that in. I am remembering who I am. And say that for yourself. Say it to yourself. I am remembering who I am. Thank you, Shauna, for such a beautiful start to the morning, a sacred start. And nice slides, too. Those are new slides you put up, so that's great. We'll put that online. So, welcome, everybody. I'm Reverend Jay Lang. I'm the spiritual director here. What a beautiful day it is today. The sun is shining, and it is the best day ever here at the Center for Spiritual Living. So glad to be here. So glad to have Shauna here. And Shauna, could you introduce your guitar player and how you know him?
This is the fabulous Manabu Okuhura. And he's in my band, Nuclear Blonde.
That's great. That's great.
I've repurposed him. But we're going to do some blues, so it'll be fun.
All right. And now we have our opening song. You ready for that?
Speaking of blues. good, I can do most anything. All right, Manabu. Got my feet on the floor, got my wind beneath my wings. I feel so good, all I want to do is sing, yeah. I can't help it, God makes me want to sing. Makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Makes me feel so good, I can do most anything. Makes me feel so good, I can do most anything.
Thank you, Shauna. So much fun today, from the sacred to the fun to the rocking there. So
We'll be taking you up and down a little bit.
I'm ready for the roller coaster. So good to have everybody here today. Welcome to everybody here, whether it might be your first time or the first time in a while or ongoing attendance. We appreciate all of you, and I want to make sure and welcome all people online. We're always grateful for your attendance, and I know some people are joining us for the first time, so thank you. Always let us know if there's any problems with the sound or anything. Please let us know. We'll try and fix that problem during the service. So we want to make sure the production is as good as possible for your enjoyment. So glad to have everybody here present today. We like to begin each service with our vision and mission statement. So if you'll look up on the screen, whether at home or here, we can say together, we are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action. And our mission, we are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths. A glorious affirmation for all today. Thank you for being a part of that, not only just to speak it, but actually being a part of activities and engagement and life here at the center. So this is a continuing celebration of Women's Empowerment Month. And I know that not only do we seek to empower women in roles of leadership here, in listening to their voice, they're saying things, but we also, when we give to other nonprofits, we make sure that they are ones that honor the place of women and the voice of women, because that's an important way to come together as one rather than any other kind of form of treatment of people. The biggest thing on the horizon is on May 3rd. It's our big fundraiser called Sip and Savor. And if you're fairly new to the community, this is our 6th annual fundraiser. But really, it's one of those things that we set the vision out for wanting to have a community event where we raise money, but really it's become more about the compassion that we're celebrating. So we give awards to 3 to 4 different people who have supported the cause of compassion and peace and love in the greater Napa Valley. And so this year we're honoring Tony McIntosh, who works with the Juvenile Diversion Program, Kent Gardella, who's worked with a number of nonprofits throughout his life, Dr. Pete Shaw, who's over at Crosswalk Community, but beyond what he does as a minister, he's done a lot for human rights activism. So we want to honor him in that way. And then, really fun this year, we're doing a Lifetime Achievement Award for a whole group of volunteers that spans over 80 years. And it's an unusual thrift shop in that you donate money, they sell it, and their profits go back to the community. They've donated over the 80 years over $15 million back to the community. So we want to honor them, and some of their volunteers are coming to receive that award. So that's all on May 3rd. Now, what's important is that how can you support this cause? It's obviously important. There's many ways you can do it. First of all, you can donate things for the auction, massage, spa treatments, event tickets, gift baskets, gift cards for restaurants or services, wine, fine art, jewelry, local adventures, or destination lodging. Like if you have a timeshare or something like that and you're willing to donate it for a week, that would be really wonderful. And or you own a second home, that would be great also in some destination place. There's forms out in the lobby if you want to donate something for the auction to take one of those. And then this list of things are on the page that you got. You probably should have got on the way in. I don't know if you did or not, but if not, you can pick that up on too. Invite wineries, if you have a connection to a winery, to donate wine or pour wine, be an individual business sponsor, volunteer for the event, and mark your calendars and attend. So tickets are now on sale. All the information is on that sheet that you have brought in. There's a QR code or a link you can use. Right now, there's 2 discounts for everybody here. One is early bird discounts that are going on through April 10th. Plus, we are extending this out to a broader community, but we want to make sure members attend. So we're offering discounts for members. If you go on the ticket site and put in the discount code MEMBER, just type the word member in there, it'll give you a discount. Plus, you can just buy the tickets here at the welcome table here. That's fine to do any way you want to, but we would appreciate your attendance, your participation, and volunteering for the event. That'll happen in a couple weeks. We'll bring out the big board, right? The big whiteboard, and get people signed up for different teams. But right now we're focused on donations and ticket sales and inviting wineries and possible individual or corporate sponsors that are part of that. So big thing going on. May 3rd, coming up pretty quickly actually. And then between then, we have a number of things going on that are not necessarily things to register for. And next week, I didn't have any of those small sheets because we're handing out Sip and Savor stuff. We'll have the small sheets to explain all this. But one that you'll want to show up next week, we have a new musician. Her name's Anna J. And she's so fun. I just want to show you a little clip of her here, her song about making a better world.
I could change the world, you could change the world, we could change the world. So let's change the world.
A fun singer. She'll be here next week. And then the following week, we're having the community singing after the service at right after like 11:45. Anybody who wants to participate, it's starting a new choir, but really it's not even anything about performance. It's just if you like to sing, even if you can't sing or not sure you could sing. It's just fun to sing as a community. So we invite you to after Reverend Georgia Davis is going to lead us. There's a sign-up sheet out on the table, on the welcome table. So sign up and join us after the service in 2 weeks from now. Not next week, but the week after that on the 6th. And then also the Napa Can Do Pro-Inclusion meeting is on April 8th. We wanted to make sure that the facilitators, Joanne Sutra and Laura Keller Coyote, want to make sure you knew it's going to be at the Napa Senior Center this time rather than their usual location. And then on the 13th, it's going to also another interesting day. We're going to have Reverend Georgia Davis is going to be the main speaker, but also at the same time, there's going to be a brief presentation by Ronald Kibberidge. And say it again. Come up here, Sean. Say it again now.
Chibarige.
So
The K-I is pronounced Chi.
Okay.
Chibarige.
So he's Ethiopian and
He's Ugandan.
Ugandan. I knew that. God, what do I have the notes right here. I'm glad you're here today, Sean.
So some of you have been sponsoring children from his school in Kinshasa, which is on the Tanzania border. It's about 90 miles from Kampala. And so he's coming just to catch you up on progress and just talk about the general topic of sponsorships in schools in Uganda.
Right, and he's the liaison with that school. And some of you may remember he did a video call with us, and he's going to be here in person on the 13th, do a brief presentation during the service, and then after the service, a longer Q&A to get more information about that. And he is so grateful for Sean because Sean saw a presentation when he was young. How old was he when you sponsored him?
Started in the year 2000, so 25 years ago. He was 15 at the time.
15, and he was part of a tour that was dancing and singing, and Sean saw them and was inspired by them and sponsored him. And now he's a professor in Norway, I think. Is it?
Yeah.
So, his education has continued, but Sean's sponsorship started that, and so grateful for that. So
Thank you for your
Sean.
time. His fellow professors in Norway are saying, "Do you want to go to the U.S. now?" So it'll be okay.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Say no more. Thank you, Sean. So the other things going on is the very next week is our what we call Holy Week, a sacred week. On Thursday we have a metaphysical communion. I'd like you to, we probably have 20 people coming to that, but we could have so many more because people think, oh, communion, I don't want to do that. But it's a different way of looking at it. It goes back to the original meeting in the Jewish settlements, the Jewish communities of breaking bread, and the beauty of that being a way to connect not only with each other but with the divine. And so we're going to go back to that and do an anointing ritual and several things there that are going to be part of that metaphysical communion. And then the Easter service is on the 20th, and this is going to be an extraordinary service. Marianne and Janet are going to be here, but also we have another singer coming in here. Her name is Jessie Powers, and she is a powerhouse.
There's no need for hiding. It was always you. Ever golden shining, illuminate the places in the dark.
Extraordinary singer, so we're going to have her. So that's going to be, we may not even do a talk that day. We may just listen to music all the time. So it'll be really fun. So that's that full April we have, and then right that first Saturday in May is our Sip and Savor. So it's a full week. But the only thing to really register for is focus on the Sip and Savor and find people, give things to the auction, donations, or find people that might want to give away auction things, and those forms, as I said, are out there on the table out there. So with that, we'll begin our sacred part of our service with our pre-meditation song.
Yesterday we had a beautiful sound healing here at the church, and it was just a wonderful way to start off the spring by just coming into yourself, coming into your body. And I'd like to just invite you to close your eyes and let that spring seep in, sink in. As above, so below. From the clouds, the rain must flow. Follow the rainbow and you'll find your pot of gold. Life is a wonder to behold. As above, so below. Don't look down, just let go. Follow the river to the source of all you know. Just let the miracle unfold. Just let the miracle unfold. Ooh. Just let the miracle unfold. Just let the miracle unfold. As above, so below. As above, so below. As above, so below. As above, so below.
We invite you to feel this wonderful moment. Keep your eyes closed and feel it. Realizing the presence of God, who is precisely here where we are united. Knowing that we are here where we plan our intentions. That is stillness that fill us with a moment of blessings, love, wisdom, abundance, and knowledge from Reverend Jay and his team. Knowing that they reminded us that we are all divine beings and that by planting our intentions, that guiding us through this wonderful world. I know that everything that we share at this moment, it is full of wisdom. I am. And with the same wisdom and perfection, we will carry that light and transmit that experience of faith with all those around us. I know that we are here with this, or our successful attitude, and with the same attitude of wisdom and well-being. We welcome all who are present at this moment and those who are to come. This abundance and knowledge that we learn here, it is the mind of each of us. And that is small intentions that we plant. It will be some intention that we'll share wherever we go. And knowing that is that change, that is that transformation of love for all of us. And so it is. Thank you. And I'm grateful to be here. And you know that all this month we've been working on the Flujo del Vaivén. That means the coming and going and the ups and downs. So I center that thinking on that piece, that everything comes and goes. And sometimes life makes it difficult to realize that I'm living the perfect life. And here I go. You know, we have a family meeting the other day, and it was this philosophy showed me how to do it now and how to be a leader. And it was beautiful because I started with that presence of God. A little prayer that nobody know that I was doing it, but I did it. And that really centered that family meeting. And it was beautiful because before, every time we have a family meeting, it was always everybody talking, everybody, you know, is screaming, yelling, and with the F words and all that. And now it is just wonderful because whatever I'm doing here, taking classes as a leadership and the visioning that Reverend Jay, that was beautiful. It's another thing that lead me to be in peace with me and to know myself. And believe it or not, it's just that leadership and the visioning together got me into that family meeting. And it was a beautiful thing because I always forget that nothing in the world is very still and that everything is always changing, you know. And right now in my household, we're dealing with my son that they separate the girlfriend and the baby and him separated. So it's just like upside down, but at the same time, it's like, let him be, and let him be, and he have to be able to come up. And last night he came and he said, I need to talk to you. And it was beautiful because I was able to listen to him and he listened to me. So I thank you very much, because without you guys' help, I'd probably be all over the place. And thank goodness that that seed that we're planting here is growing. So I thank you very much and have a wonderful Sunday.
Check. Okay, we're going to do a song by the Rolling Stones. I hear the sweet, sweet sounds of heaven falling down to the earth. I hear the sweet, sweet, sweet sounds of children rising up to their birth. Bless the mother, bless the son. Hear the beat of the drum as it echoes through the valley and it bursts. Let no family, let no child go hungry tonight, and protect us from the pain and the hurt. I smell the sweet, sweet scent of heaven tumbling down to the earth. I hear the sweet, sweet, sweet sounds of children, and they're praising the land of their birth. No, I'm not going down for some dusty gold crown. Let it lay there here in the dirt. I'm gonna laugh, I'm gonna cry, break the bread, drink the wine, 'cause I'm finally quenching my thirst. You can't have a light without a little shadow, and you don't need another target for your arrow. let's all stand up proud. Let the old believe that they are young.
Beautiful, Shauna. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Martha, what a beautiful prayer and reflection. It was very, very beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with us as well. So it is now springtime, and the equinox happened on Thursday, and I don't know about you, but it feels like there's a new energy happening. And my question about today, because what I know about the spring is like there's a portal, a window of opportunity for new seeds to be planted, new ways of doing things, new manifestations. And it's a great time to re-look at what we're wanting to create in our lives. So I ask you today, what seeds are you planting? What intentions are you planting? As we step into the divine flow, this part of this coming and going that Martha was talking about, the flow that moves in and out of our bodies, we know that right now there is an energy shift, and there is a window of opportunity here. I've also noticed as I go around, running errands and different things, everybody seems to be in a good mood. And I'm going, where were these people back a few weeks ago? I mean, surely it wasn't me that was just going into the store and just getting what I need and then getting out and going back home. That couldn't be just me, right? I think we're all in a better mood. I don't know, something about more light and more hope and more just creativity happening, more things happening. People are going to nurseries and in their gardens and just being outside, especially on a sunny day like today, and just being present and kind of waking up to new things. Then they're present and accounted for. And to tell you the truth, we need everyone to be present and accounted for, everyone to be in this life aware and mindful in this time of new intentions, a time to reset and planting our intentions. Both Wednesday, we had a celebration here for Spring Equinox, and on Saturday, that Shauna mentioned, the sound healing we had. Both these were just really wonderful place to resonate with this energy, with this newness that yesterday our facilitator, Patricia, was talking about being reborn, and it felt like it was a sense of being reborn, something new. And yet you don't have to have attended those events to come up with this energy, because it's in the consciousness that's around. The winter months are naturally a time to be more introspective. The energies do invite you into the longer dark nights to be contemplative, to consider what you want to create, and also to let things die that no longer serve you. But now as spring opens up, you might even think of it as the winter as a womb. Some of us are a little hesitant to come back out. Would rather stay in the warm comfort of that winter. But the truth is, that's not the way nature works. It's not the way Spirit works. Spirit urges us to step into the fullness of our being, even if we haven't got everything figured out. Even if we're not sure of what we're being called to do in this world right now. But one way to do it is to open up and be present. In my email this week, I talked about walking among sacred trees. I take a practice of that, to walk among like the Monterey cypress and the coastal redwoods, the giant sequoias, the bristlecone pines that are all ancient, hundreds, even thousands of years old. And you can feel the sacredness when you walk in those groves, especially when you look at the gnarled roots that they have that are so spectacular. But what I find fascinating, the most ancient grove I've ever walked in are groves of aspens. And aspens seem like much younger trees. They're supple and not very big around at all, not very tall. But what makes them ancient is the root system underneath them, because aspen groves are actually one organism. They're not separate trees at all. And some of those aspen groves have been alive for 80,000 years. 80,000 years. And they keep bringing up new trees, but they're just part of this one organism. And I love that concept. So as I walk, and to tell you the truth, this huge valley oak is right outside our window here. The leaves come out over, and guess what's underneath us is roots. So we can imagine wherever we walk is this unseen root system. And I imagine that to be consciousness itself that is always supporting us, that is always present, that is sacred and alive. And we often think about the way we manifest or create things that we're planting seeds. But in truth, things can grow from roots and shoots and emerge from what is already. We don't have to know exactly what it is we're growing. We have a general intention. We give it attention, and it grows. Because it's the nature of spirit to come out of the womb, out of the dormancy, out of the nothingness, and into bright and green and beautiful and flowers, and to celebrate the spring that we are all part of. Ernest Holmes, our founder, was a synthesizer, is what I call him. He was aware of a lot of information, but a lot he pulled from other people. But he also was a contemplative person, to where he would go within and get the sense of the truth of something. And what he found was something very profound. I think I've got his quote here. So he said a number of things in I believe statements. He said, I believe in the unity of life, that the highest God and the innermost God is one God. I believe that God is personal to all who feel this indwelling presence. I believe, he said, in the direct revelation of truth through our intuitive and spiritual nature, and that anyone can become a revealer of truth who lives in close contact with this indwelling God. This really differs from most religions, because it's basically saying you don't have to come to church. I didn't say that out loud, did I? Because your revelation of spirit is within you, that any of you don't need me. Now, you can take what I say and try it out, be inspired by it, but inspire you to find that deeper truth within you. The revealing of how to heal, how to show up. What is that connection that you want to have out in the world? But you know what's interesting is, despite how people interpret that in other religions, that you have to go to church, you have to go to a certain person who's the appointed person to be the revealer of truth, or a sacred text that's the revealer of truth. What's interesting is all of those spiritual leaders that founded these religions, i.e. Jesus, Moses, Muhammad, Lao Tzu, Buddha, they all said this too, that you too will do greater things than me. You simply need to go within and find your own truth, to find your own way, to find the flow. They all said that, and yet people still want to contain this information as if it's their own. But we also know that ponds that don't have fresh water coming in become toxic. I know what keeps me alive in my faith is my personal relationship with Spirit. And if you don't take anything else away from today, I encourage you to take time in the morning, take time from in the middle of your day, just a moment to breathe and reconnect with that Spirit that's within you. Or especially when you're challenged with a health situation, a relationship situation, a job situation, a task situation. Even maybe you love everything about your job or something, but there's one thing that's really tough. Like you don't know how to do it. Just allow yourself to relax about it and let the truth be revealed. Because anyone who is in close contact with this indwelling God can reveal truth, can reveal wisdom, can reveal a way to move forward from this personal. And what I know about this root system that is in all life, that it is as pervasive as the consciousness that is always present with us. So we have these ideas of how we want life to go. It's good to have these intentions and give it attention, be mindful about it, and we open up to Spirit, because Spirit is the way. We're going to know how the way for us to do it, not how the way anybody else do it, but the way for us to do it. And I also think about our intention and intention as like a pot of water to boil. You've always heard, watch pots, what? Right. But I tell you what happens when you don't watch the pot and you go away and leave the fire on. What happens? It boils over too much. So there's got to be this soft focus we have in our lives with our attention. We're not overly obsessed with it, but we're also not, whatever. It's a soft focus. We know what we want to create, but if we're caught into our attachments about how we're going to do something, we might get in the way of Spirit's way to do it. So we softly focus and we know what these intentions are, and we're open to Spirit in all ways. I was listening to a podcast by Michael Beckwith, who is the senior minister, spiritual director of the Agape International Spiritual Center in LA. And he talked about the windows of manifestation. I was really fascinated by that, because he talked about 4 windows in every way I've experienced in my life, and I bet you have too. So the first way of intentional manifestation is simply, I didn't mention, so Ernest Holmes had these statements that I believe, but we have changed them into we believe statements, and they become our statement of beliefs here for Centers for Spiritual Living. I meant to mention that. So the window of intentional thought. Now this is New Thought 101. All the New Thought, Unity, Independent Science of Mind, Centers for Spiritual Living, they all talk about change your thinking, change your life, right? So this idea that, and it works. It works. We're aware of our thoughts. We're mindful. We step into the flow, and we experience new ways of being because we're rerouting, rewiring our brains in that way with this new thought. But often it's not quite the garden you had imagined. It's not A plus B equals C all the time. And there's a couple reasons this happens. First of all, even the best of meditators, the best of manifestors have different thoughts, competing parts of themselves, different beliefs. And when we experience a garden, so to speak, that there's too many weeds in or things aren't growing, we might look at our beliefs to see if something, but there may not be anything we can trace it to exactly. But we do know that our thoughts can whirlpool in negativity. They can be a limited, narrow window. And we simply allow a force greater than us to come through us to reimagine, to revision. Martha was talking about visioning. That's a spiritual practice that allows you to have a greater idea, greater knowing. And that can help us. But the other thing you have to know about, if you want to think about planting these thoughts as seeds, there are 7 billion people on this planet? Guess what? They're all planting seeds too. So it's not just you planting your seeds. So there's a lot of gardens out there. And there's also this sense that you think this is your garden, but there's birds coming into it. There's people in it. There could be animals at night coming into it. There's influences. It's not a pure thought that we have. The best thing we can do is to rely on Spirit to know a way through, because it's not an exact science in that way. And often we'll have an intention. And we can get started on something, but we need to continually be renewed in Spirit to find new ways to create that which we're attempting to create, that which is our intention. There's an organization called ASHA. It's in India. It does its work completely in the slums of Delhi. And I don't have to, you can imagine how tough this work is. This is where Mother Teresa did her work. And somebody, I remember asking Mother Teresa how she didn't get overwhelmed by all the poverty that's there. And she goes, I just deal with one baby, one person at a time. And the founder of this is it's here somewhere. Oh, Dr. Karen Martin. And she's a medical doctor. And her big thing was, regardless of backgrounds, caste, or religious beliefs, that everyone can have their lives transformed. She would do things like get people together, because all her work began in oneness. So in India, there's a lot of conflict among faiths. I know we wouldn't know anything about that kind of country. But between the Hindus, the Buddhists, the Muslims, and she would bring people together and kind of as a guideline that we're all one people. That was the basis of her work that she did. And I believe that we can do no harm if we come from that place of oneness. That they broke bread together, literally, and connected in that way. So some friends of our members here, and friends of mine, Bob and Tina Ferretti, just came back from India. And they worked with Asha quite a bit in helping them, and this was one of the first times they were able to go there in person to see the work that they've been doing lately. It's an organization that's been going for 35 years. And like I said, her original work, Dr. Martin's original work, was about transforming slums, doing a lot of work with health work and families with poverty and bringing food in and helping that. But she also wanted to make sure this work was sustainable. So lately, her work is about empowering women. The women in these families, the mothers of these families, tend to be stay-at-home moms, but they also don't have a sense of themselves. When they go out in public, they put their head down and they don't really look at anybody. So Dr. Martin's work and all of Asha believed that they could believe that if they could empower these women, they would make a huge shift in society, and it's worked. Because women are finding their value. They're doing work, creating micro jobs, micro economy type things, and they're feeling their value, and it's making a shift in the culture there, and it's getting people out of poverty in that way because it's developing more income, more ways of doing things, but also spiritually they're becoming empowered, and we know that makes a difference. So it's really powerful what Bob and Tina were there just to support the efforts, what they're doing, and seeing how this education and this awareness, this empowerment is making a huge difference in the lives. So when Dr. Martin started this, she didn't know how she was going to do that. And 35 years later, it's continued to evolve. So we can't be tied into doing one thing or another. It's got to continue to be opened up in new ways. And we do that and refresh ourselves with this inward connection with Spirit to reveal the greater truth. So the next window, the second window that Beckwith talked about, is lessons of life. And this is always interesting because, on some level, we've asked for something larger, this goal we have, and often everything that's not that intention shows up. There are ways that it seems like obstacles and blocks, but it is that which is in our way is the way. To take time to learn from those things that appear like they're obstacles, but in fact they're ways that we can learn about ourselves to grow deeper, stronger in our roots, stronger in our faith, stronger in our abilities and skills. I don't believe in a God outside of ourselves that creates these obstacles for us to learn. I believe at some level we're calling them in so we can learn from it. And there's something deeper. If we're willing to be mindful, if we're not willing to be a victim, I believe that there's nothing that happens to us, but things are always happening for us. Even if they seem like a problem, a curse at the time, something that is not revealing itself or it seems to get in the way, we know that if we take the time to get insights from this and to find a way through it, that we grow deeper. I look at all the obstacles in my life, and at the time they seemed like I would never get past them, but they all made them myself a stronger, powerful, creative, resilient, and also probably the most important thing is able to find that spirit within me, able to find those resources. I mean, how many of you have experienced that on through a challenge you become a stronger, more powerful person? How many people? Yeah. And that's the nature of spirit, no matter what happens to us. And the next window is the windows of connection as blessing. Now, what I know about this is interesting because individuals come into our lives to raise the vibration of compassion, peace, love, joy for a season, a reason, or a lifetime. But there are also people that come into our lives that are the opposite of this. And we can see them as this blessing or curse, but a curse is just an unveiled blessing, an unveiled good. So I know that there are certain times that I've experienced something, a person that I thought was something, and they changed. And that was very hard because I felt betrayed because I had invested time in this relationship. For 2 years of my life, when I was in my early 20s, I was in a cult. If I'd known it was a cult, I wouldn't have stayed in it, obviously. But I had found in this spiritual organization everything I was looking for, the truths I was looking for, of inner revelation, of meditation, of affirmative prayer. But guess what I did? I put all that on one person. That this person was the reason I knew this. And when I found out he was a wounded individual, it was a longer story than I have time here for. But I found out in just a matter of weeks, I finally woke up to go and know what was going on. That people have been telling me already, and I'd missed it. And what I did is when I left that organization, at first I left all spirituality, but then I said, wait a minute, wait a darn moment. What was it that I discovered about myself? And I found that resilience, I found that reliance in myself to find that. And that was more important because I can't depend my spirituality on any person or anything, any one book, anything except the oneness in me. That's what I need to rely on. And finally, the last window that Beckwith was talking about was group consciousness. This is an interesting one because I don't know if you've experienced this, but most people that come to the Wednesday meditation or the visioning class or what we experienced yesterday with the sound healing or the ritual on Wednesday find that when they do things in groups, that the meditation is deeper, it's more profound, they're able to be in the quiet longer. And that's not because of any one thing or that meditation technique that was used then. It was because there is a group consciousness that holds that for us that we can tap into. It's a real thing. People in a theater, a study was done, they were hooked up with EKG monitors. And they were told that they were going to see if they had the same reaction to the movie at the same time. What they weren't told is they were actually monitoring to see what happened during the movie. And they all began to breathe about the same level. Their beats became at the same level. There's a tuning that happens when you're in a group. And when you're attuning to spirit, then this consciousness grows. I was recently at a CSL conference. It was a virtual conference, Centers for Spiritual Living conference. And our speaker there, Dr. Sunday Contrell-Smith, which is our spiritual leader, talked about how this is a time that our Centers for Spiritual Living and New Thought is being called to something greater. That we are being asked to step into this call for oneness, for deeper connectivity, And this is an opportunity for us. And I just really think that's true for us as a community too. What Sip and Savor started, as I said, like a fundraiser that we want to celebrate compassion. It started as a interfaith, and it's become so much more because we've allowed it to evolve. And this community has evolved, and it's continued to open up to this greater way. And that's what I know, and the way we do that is through prayer. So I'm going to invite you just to sing a short part of that. I know we're... So what I want us to remember is, in this community, together, we are awakening to Spirit. We are awakening to who we really are. So just once through the chorus, just so we can just sing it together.
This song has really gotten me through a lot of stuff and helped me to feel connected. You all know it. I don't think Manabu got the memo. This is a little add-in from the beginning. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
Remember who we are, and this opens us up to a greater way, because I know Spirit in each of us is coming through in a powerful way, that each of us is a revealer of the truth. The Spirit is this revelation, and whatever it is you're seeking, a healing, an understanding, an insight, a deeper connection, Spirit in you is creating that, and I know this to be the truth, as always, and so it is.
Yeah. I am remembering who I am. 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 You know, it's really wonderful to be with you here today and feeling in this amazing energy. I woke up this morning and my ears were completely stuffed up. And I thought, wow, this is going to be fun. And it is still fun. It is still quite enjoyable because I do love singing, and, you know, sometimes I get up here and think, why am I doing this? I wanted to do this, right? I wanted to come and sing for spring, and I wasn't thinking allergies. I was thinking I love spring. Okay, so this next song is actually a song that I wrote, and, well, it's called Extraordinary Being. It's what I strive to be and what I see around me in the world, and I just appreciate the people in my life who help me to remember this. Loose lips, they can't say this. No, they don't know you're talking to the fire. Battle scars, no tenderness, even when you're preaching to the choir. You lose yourself you find yourself. There's no one else who's gonna row your boat more gently down the stream. Make a wish, say a prayer, throw your hands up in the air. What a glorious feeling. Catch a dream, catch a drift, catch yourself on fire. And now the pain is started peeling. Cast a spell, cast a web, cast away your doubts until you're dancing on the ceiling. Catch a wind, catch a wave, catch a falling star. You are an extraordinary being. True grit can handle it, and you've got more than your fair share of it. Hands on hips with no regrets. You hold on to a truth you can never forget. You find yourself along the way, because life ain't but a dream, and you lose yourself. There's no one else who's gonna row your boat more merrily on down the stream. Make a wish, say a prayer, throw your hands up in the air. What a glorious feeling. Catch a drift, catch a dream, catch yourself on fire. And now the pain has started peeling. Cast a spell, cast a web, cast away your doubts until you're dancing on the ceiling. Catch a dream, catch a wave, catch a falling star. You are an extraordinary being. An extraordinary being.
Yes. Thank you, Shauna. So this time in our service when we invite you to be part of the sharing of abundance, what we know is that which you give of time, talent, and treasure come back to you tenfold. So we appreciate your support of our vision and mission. If the ushers could come forward. We take our hand and put it over our heart to represent that which you've given today, you're giving today, or you've given in the past, or given in the future. And repeat with me this affirmation. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I circulate, and all that I circulate. And so it is. I should know that by now, right?
We both should. Climb to the highest peak. You can hear your heart speak. She will tell you everything. The world is at your feet. And from that high place, we can all sing Amazing Grace and make that sweet love embrace. Just let it beat. Oh, let it beat. Let it be. Let it be the truth of me. Oh, make it shine. Make it divine. Set your spirit free. Set your spirit free. One more time. Set your spirit free.
Thank you, Shauna. So we also want to acknowledge anybody who might be here for the first time. We have a special gift for you and an affirmation for you. If you're willing to raise your hand to be acknowledged as here for the first time, we have a gift for you. Where's our person giving things out? Right, all the way over there. So that's great. And a blessing for everybody today. First time if you've been here in a while, or first time, or all our people online, or people that have been here on a regular basis. We just raise our hands and say, we bless you today, knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. Thank you. If our practitioners could come forward, please. We have prayer after the service. If you so want a prayer, just stay in your seat, and the practitioner will either come to you or you could come to the practitioner. Either way, it's a gift to have this that we have. We have one child I see in here. And then we have all grown-up children, but one still. So we have a blessing for our child here. So we raise our hands and we say, we love you, we care about you, and we're here for you. Thank you for being here today with us. And finally, if everybody could stand up for the community affirmation, followed by our ending song, which today will be, I Remember Who I Am. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit.
I am led by Spirit.
I'm guided by wisdom.
I am guided by wisdom.
I'm protected by love.
I am protected by love.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
I am so grateful.
And so it is.
So it is. I wanted to leave you with this song today. I just think it's so important for all of us to just remember who we are.
Absolutely.
I am remembering who I am. 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 I'm feeling safe and sound. I'm standing on sacred ground. I'm feeling fire in my heart. I'm grateful doing my part. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am. I am remembering who I am.
As we go forth, we remember who we are, and more importantly, in this community, we remember who you are also. Have a blessed Sunday.
Thank you.
you.